Welcome back to CAISTROLOGY, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be doing your April 2021 horoscope. Make sure you watch for your ascendant, sun and moon sign, and if you only have time to watch one today, I recommend that you watch your ascendant sign horoscope. On CAISTROLOGY, I also do tarot pick-a-card readings, tarot monthly predictions, and just a bit of housekeeping for today. There won't be any monthly tarot predictions for April 2021, but I will let you guys know when that will be returning. Without further ado, enjoy your April 2021 horoscope. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your April 2021 horoscope. The month starts off with your ruling planet Mercury entering the sign of Aries on the 4th of April. With Mercury in your 11th house, you will be very active online on all forms of social media that you partake in, and you may find yourself communicating with a very wide variety of people online. It doesn't just have to be online though, as your 11th house rules your wider networks and your friendship group as well. So this is a good time for anything that you write to be posted and circulated. If you do have an online presence, if you have your own online business, or if you are involved in social media or complex systems such as IT, so information and technology, this is a great time for your work to be circulated. Now, you may find that you're very interested in your long-term goals and gains and rewards more so than usual. So Mercury, as I said, is your ruling planet, and wherever it goes, this is where you are very involved in the activities of that house. So lastly, with this transit, this is a fantastic time to network, okay? You can meet a huge range of individuals who may become instrumental in anything to do with commerce, sales, trade, any kind of business transactions, and certainly you could meet some new friends during this time as well. Now on the 10th of April, Mars will be squaring Neptune. So this is Mars in Gemini in your first house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in your 10th house. This is a brief transit, but it is quite a tricky one. And the reason for that is that Neptune represents confusion and in some instances loss. So here we have tension, which is shown by this squaring aspect between yourself and your career, and also your public image and how you identify at a professional level. So with Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, you can certainly experience some intense confusion about your career and how to take the next steps to advance your career. And for some of you, there may be a job opportunity which you end up sacrificing, and that's because Mars is the ruler of your 6th house, which is in Scorpio as well. And for some of you, you might have been offered a promotion and then realized that there were some kind of hidden strings attached. So just make sure that for any kind of leadership position that you are being offered, or any kind of promotion that you've been offered, that you are reading all of the fine print, because Gemini rules documents and Neptune, as I said, rules confusion and things not being quite what they seem. So if there's some kind of career opportunity which is presented to you on this date specifically, which once again is the 10th of April, just wait a day if you can actually. Try to push out accepting any kind of offer and just say that you need more time to think or to do your due diligence, because you don't want to be making a mistake with this one. Now, on a different note, some of you may experience some kind of dissatisfaction where you've realized that something which seemed really promising in relation to a career opportunity is not quite what you thought it would be. And some of you could actually be feeling like the actions that you were taking to try to advance your career aren't being counted for anything. It's like you just keep hitting dead end after dead end after dead end. But this will be a transit which will which will pass. Like I said, it is extremely brief. Now, on the 12th of April, there will be a new moon in Aries at 22 degrees, and this is in your 11th house. And it's actually making a beautiful sextile to Mars in Gemini in your first house. So new moons always indicate a new beginning in some capacity, and with this one, it's in relation to one or more of the following areas: joining some kind of new community, network, or friendship group. You could have a new idea blossom in relation to your long-term goals, and this is more for like the legacy that you want to leave. This could be like the overall big picture and long term aspirations that you have for yourself, rather than a goal that you're just setting for the next 6 months or 1 year later. This is like where you want your career to lead you in many years to come. So with new moons, it's about planting the seeds over the next 4 weeks, but you may not see these seeds start to take form until 6 months later at the full moon in Aries in 6 months' time, or even 18 months later with the full moon in Aries next year in 2022. So with this new moon, some of you may actually end up becoming the leader of some kind of network or group where you are the face of it. And that's because the sextile to Mars in your first house indicates you, okay? The ascendant house is you, it's the physical incarnation of you, and Mars represents the head, all right? So this is literally you being the face of something, and this could be your own business because it's this link to Gemini, and this is definitely about starting something new because Aries is a cardinal sign. And with Aries, the new moon in Aries, it's really about a fresh new start in some kind of area with, like I said, your long-term goals, aspirations, or your friendship group, which is new and innovative, especially as it's making that sextile to the planet which rules the new moon. Hopefully that didn't go over your head. Lastly, with this new moon, some of you may have an idea to organize some kind of large-scale event, whether that's a community event, something to do with like a concert or a social event. That's another way that it could play out. So on the 12th of April, we also have Venus in Aries in your 11th house, squaring Pluto in Capricorn in your 8th house. Now, squares are tense aspects, as a lot of you know, and with this one, you could actually be questioning how much you feel valued, which is represented by Venus, when it comes to your friendship circle and your wider network. With this transit, there's definitely an element of feeling like you are not earning the respect, or receiving, I should say, the respect that you deserve from your friendship group. And that's because with Pluto, it's about power in the sign of Capricorn. This is really about respect, as I said, and it's also about long-term connections which you have invested in. And with Venus squaring Pluto in Capricorn, you're certainly, for some of you, questioning how valuable it is to you and for you to be a part of certain social groups and networks and communities. Now, on the 15th of April, Venus will enter the sign of Taurus, and this will be in your 12th house. With Venus in your 12th house, this can show that there can be some kind of hidden romance, because wherever Venus goes, this is where romance can enter our lives, and the 12th house represents anything which is hidden. So some of you could certainly be having, a secret rendezvous with an individual that you're not revealing to the world. This is an indication for having an affair, for sure. It does need to be said. And with Venus in your 12th house, you could just be enjoying your own company more, being in the quiet solitude of your own bedroom, or even just enjoying spending more time creating art and being involved with your artistic pursuits, your musical pursuits. And for some of you, this is a little bit of a warning not to overindulge in any kind of escapist behavior. This is and indicator for abusing substances. So just be careful with that one. Now, on the 19th of April, Mercury, which once again is your ruling planet, will enter the sign of Taurus. So it's joining Venus in your 12th house. So your thoughts could definitely be keeping you up at night. When we have Mercury in the 12th house transits, this is a recipe for insomnia, overthinking, analysis paralysis. But on a different level, you could actually be having really insightful dreams and be receiving messages in your sleep. And these could definitely be messages from loved ones who've crossed over to the other side. But Gemini, it doesn't have to be in your sleep. You can be receiving these messages from loved ones via meditation, and also by listening to music. Sometimes our loved ones like to communicate to us via music as well. Now on the 20th of April, the sun will enter Taurus. So this is in your 12th house. So we now have Venus, Mercury, and the sun in your 12th house. And unfortunately, this can lower your vitality. So Gemini season is obviously coming up in 1 month's time, around the 21st of May, which by the way is my birthday. But in the lead up to Gemini season with Taurus season and this heaviness in the 12th house, this can lead to fatigue, feeling tired, feeling drained, not having anywhere near as much energy as what you normally have. So just try not to exert yourself when it comes to how much work you take on, how much you're socializing, and just try not to burn the candle at both ends, which is definitely something that Gemini tends to struggle with. On another note, with the sun being in your 12th house, this is a time for introspection, and this may actually be a moment where the sun likes to shine its light onto things like spirituality, which is represented by the 12th house. So you may be involved or interested in things like astrology, the occult, tarot readings, past life readings. On a different level, Gemini, the sun transiting your 12th house can bring up the ways in which you have been exhibiting self-sabotaging behavior. So while it's always easy to, project issues onto other people and say, it's their fault and whatnot, with all of these planets in the 12th house, especially with your ruling planet being in the 12th house, this really is a moment to look inwards and see how you can display accountability for your actions. What part have you played which has led you to where you are today? Now, on the 23rd of April, Mars will enter Cancer, and it's in your second house, transiting your second house for about 7 weeks, and this is until the 11th of June. So with Mars in your second house, Mars is a warrior and it likes to take action. In the sign of Cancer, which is very protective, this can see you being very protective over your resources, over your money, your valuables, your possessions. On the other side of the coin, Cancer represents a nurturing and caring energy. So you can certainly be nurturing your bank account and fattening it up over the next 7 weeks. Bear in mind, Gemini, that it takes about 2 years for the planet of Mars to do a full transit through all 12 houses, signs but obviously 12 houses anyway. So given that it's been 2 years since Mars has been in your second house of finances and resources, it's been quite a while since you've had an intense and laser sharp focus on your finances and what's going on with them. So this is a great time for you to be very proactive with your money. And on a totally different level, the second house rules anything that we value, and this includes our self-worth. So with Mars transiting your second house, a lot of you will be trying to solve issues related to your self-worth. So with Mars in your second house, something to watch out for is to be protective of your finances. Watch out for any kind of scam, whether that's with your your online banking, or even with your own tangible valuables and possessions, because Mars can rule theft, burglaries, any kind of untoward physical behavior which is aggressive in nature, and that absolutely covers stealing for sure. So just be careful who you let into your home and who you let handle your possessions and your valuables over the next 7 weeks. Lastly, with Mars being in your second house, this is a great time to basically create some kind of action plan when it comes to your diet, because the second house rules food and Mars is how we take action. So if you've been wanting to cut something from your diet for a very long time and you may have struggled with it, this is actually an amazing time to do it and really get a handle on it. Now, on the 23rd of April, Mercury will be conjunct Uranus in your 12th house. Now, Mercury is your ruling planet, as I've mentioned 3 times already. So this is a huge transit to pay attention to, Gemini. You can absolutely be having prophetic downloads in your sleep, because Uranus is the ruler of your 9th house, and this is like your ability to receive intuitive guidance for your own personal future. And the 12th house is an intuitive house, so you can have amazing revelations in your sleep. You may actually make very sudden decisions as a result of a crazy dream that you had, or a message that you received in your dream, or even simply from a meditation which you listen to and you're like, wow, I have so much clarity and now's the moment to act. And with Mercury being conjunct Uranus, you may have a lightning bolt spiritual awakening. It's like something literally just like electrifies you and your brain, and you're like, oh my God, I have a whole new belief system. I believe in this now, or I don't believe in that now. And it'll be like such an amazing moment of clarity where you are like, I have all of the answers to a very difficult problem which I have been dealing with. You can see even from this video that I'm getting excited about this transit, because I'm a Gemini rising, and this is just such an important date to mark in your calendar. It's the 24th of April once again. Some of you may even experience a sudden divorce from an addiction that you have had for ages, or a sudden healing from a past life trauma. Uranus rules all kinds of sudden events, shocking change, and sudden upheavals, and this can absolutely be related to, anything which is holding us back, because the 12th house is the house of self-undoing and self-sabotage. So there can be such incredible, as I said, clarity when it comes to these areas of your life. Now, on the 27th of April, there will be a full moon in Scorpio at 7 degrees in your 6th house. And we've also got the sun in Taurus, which is obviously opposite the moon, being conjunct Uranus, and this is in your 12th house. So full moons always indicate the ending of a cycle or a chapter. And with this full moon occurring in your 6th house, for many of you, this will be saying goodbye to a job which had you feeling like you were trapped or like you were some kind of victim. And for some of you, this could be a job which drained you of your natural vitality and energy. On a different level, this is another indicator for releasing an addiction which you've had for however long. It doesn't have to be indicated for any specific period of time. Or on a different level, some of you may be saying goodbye to some kind of health issue in your life, and this very well could have been psychosomatic. With the sun being in your 12th house and conjunct Uranus, this shows sudden insights as to why you had some kind of health issue or addiction, issues with addiction. So for some of you, you may realize that you've undermined your own recovery, but now with this full moon in Scorpio, you're able to, feel like you're back in control of your life again. And lastly, with this full moon in Scorpio, some of you may have completed a project and now it's ready for release. This project could be related to health and well-being, healing, spirituality, the occult, and it could very well be related to technology, finances, and complex systems. So think, IT or cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology. All of this could have been involved in some kind of project that you're working on, which is now done and dusted. Now, on the 28th of April, Pluto will station retrograde in Capricorn, and this is in your 8th house. So Pluto goes retrograde for 5 months of every year. It's nothing that we're a stranger to. Having said that, I have noticed that the day that Pluto goes retrograde is when we can experience some kind of inner psychological turmoil or upheaval. So just mark that one in your calendar. If you're feeling a little bit off, don't worry, it will pass. It's just thanks to the retrograde. So Gemini, that's all I have for you for April 2021. I hope you enjoyed this horoscope. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to CAISTROLOGY. Enjoy April 2021, and I will see you guys next time.